Hey guys, welcome back. Today on The Untidy Artist, I'll be showing you how I made the June Flower Fairy of the Month. This is part of my Fairy of the Month series that started in December, and I will put links for all of the different fairies below in the description of the video. This fairy was inspired by all of the beautiful green trees and bushes and grasses that are growing around my house. Also, I love butterflies. And then I did a survey on Instagram, and this is the flower you all picked out. So with that said, let's grab some supplies and get started. So we're using this gorgeous turquoise flower that I thought was fun because it kind of reminds me of the blue sky. You'll need some different threads, and I've got some greens and a blue here. And then I found these cute little butterflies on Amazon. I'll put a link for them below in the description. And I thought these would be fun to decorate her skirt with. I have some beaded trim. I believe I got this at Hobby Lobby. I've got some floral wire, and we'll be using this to make a little crown or tiara for her. And then I have this white flower that we'll be using. And then I have some different greenery. These are just some leaves I pulled off another flower. I found this stem of kind of greenery at Michael's, and then this was just a little piece of a big bouquet of silk flowers that I had, and I just pulled this off. So look through what you already have because you might be able to find some leaves and things you've already got on hand. And then I've got some glitter. This is probably my favorite glitter. I love how iridescent it is, and it just picks up different colors and is so pretty and sparkly. And then I've got this green. This is a emerald mixed green, and I liked how this matched the different green in the leaves. I have some Mod Podge. We'll be using this for the glitter and a little paintbrush. You could really use any type of craft glue for this part. And then of course I have my sharp pair of scissors and my trusty glue gun set on low. And then we've got our fairy doll. So if you're new to making fairies with me, you'll want to check out my basic fairy doll tutorial. In that, I teach you how to take a wooden bead, some embroidery floss, and a piece of floral wire and twist it into this darling little doll. Now, one tutorial I'm working on that I'm really excited about is doing different skin tones for the fairy dolls. So stay tuned for that. Okay, let's get started. So the first step is to dress our doll. So I'm going to take this green and I'm going to wrap it up. I'm going to give her one strap on the side of her shoulder and a pair of shorts. And you'll find more step-by-step detailed instructions in that basic fairy doll tutorial. And then I'm going to give her just a little belt or sash with this blue. I just wanted a little hint of that around her waist. And then I'm going to go ahead and set her aside, and we're going to grab our flower and start taking it apart. Now, if you can find flowers that don't have a lot of glue holding them together, it will make your life easier. And just go ahead and pull that flower completely apart. And then I'm going to start layering the petals in a way to create her skirt. So I knew that I wanted it to be, to give me a big canvas to work on, if you will. And so I wanted the bigger petals on the top, so I had a lot to play around with as far as decorating the top of her skirt. So once you have that kind of figured out, you're going to hold it up to your doll, see if you like the way it looks. And if it does, we're going to cut a little X into the center of each petal. And this will allow us to push the petals up and around our doll's waist. So I just go through and I do that with all of my flower petals. And once you have the little X cut into all of them, we're going to take the petals, starting with the top layers of her skirt, and push them up and around her waist. And I like to arrange them as I go. I like to make sure that the petals are overlapping in different ways so they're not all sitting directly on top of each other, because we want a nice fluffy skirt. Then I'm going to grab my glue gun and add little dabs of glue between the layers to hold her skirt together. Once again, spending time arranging the petals as I go so that the skirt lays really nice. And you do that in the front and in the back. And this is what we have. And you can see that little pop of blue that we added with the thread. It kind of extends the skirt a little bit. And now we're going to do our gloves and shoes. Now I have a separate tutorial completely that goes through a lot more detailed instructions on how to create the gloves and shoes, and that will be linked below in the description of the video. So she's got some green gloves and a little pair of green shoes. And now we're going to do her hair. So you can style your doll's hair however you'd like. I have a ton of different videos on how different hairstyles, curly, updos, piggy tails, all sorts of things. So I'm just giving her a regular hairstyle, and you can find the basic instructions in this in the basic fairy doll tutorial. So I go through how exactly I do this hairstyle. So I've got her hair styled, and now we're gonna start decorating her skirt. So I grabbed some of these green leaves, and I'm just gonna start layering them, kind of cascading down the side of her dress. So I like to spend some time kind of figuring out where I want them to go before I start gluing things down. And once I've kind of got an idea, I'm going to grab my glue gun, and using small dabs of glue, I'm just gonna start putting those different leaves down the side of her dress. And once we have the leaves tacked down, we're going to grab our butterflies and decide where to put them. Now I decided I wanted them just kind of landing on the different leaves, and so I kind of set them in some different spots, deciding where I wanted to put them, and then using, once again, small dabs of glue, I'm just gonna secure those in place. So I ended up adding 3 of the little butterflies just in different spots, like they were landing on the leaves of her dress. And once I have those all glued down, I'm going to go ahead and grab that viney looking greenery that I have, and I'm going to cut off a few pieces of these and just drape them down the side of kind of where the leaves are. So just kind of tucking them up underneath some of the butterflies, underneath the leaves, so you can't see the ends of the stems. And I really liked the effect that this added to the leaves. Gave it a little bit more dimension. So I ended up putting in a few of those just tucked in different spots. And once we have that done, we're actually going to set our fairy doll aside, and we are going to make her crown. So to make the crown, we're going to grab our floral wire. And what I like to do is wrap it around 2 of my fingers a few times and then hold it up to her head to see if it's the right shape, to see if I've got it big enough. And once I have, I'm gonna trim off 2 ends and then wrap them around each other. So just kind of tucking those ends under, securing it in place. And don't worry too much about the back because we are going to cover it. So then I'm going to grab my little beaded trim, and I'm going to take a little dab of glue, glue it at the back, and then start wrapping that trim around our little crown. So I just cut off a piece of this, and you can see I'm just wrapping it around my little crown. And then match it back up in the back. You can see I've got a big mess of glue right there, but that's okay because we're going to take this cute flower and we're going to glue it right in the back so it sits at the back of her crown. And I just love how this turned out. It might be, besides the butterflies, my favorite part of her dress. So set that aside, and now we're going to put some glitter on our fairy doll. So I'm going to take a little bit of my Mod Podge, I'm putting it in a little plastic lid, and I'm taking my paintbrush and I'm just adding a little bit of glue here and there, and then I grab a scratch piece of paper, sprinkle some glitter over the glue, tap it off, and then take a look at it and see where else I want to put some of the glitter. So I ended up putting some of the green glitter on all of the leaves just to add some sparkle. I really liked how it made the leaves stand out more. And then once you're done with your glitter, you can just dump it back into your container so you're not wasting any glitter. Love how it made the leaves stand out more. It's so pretty. And then I'm going to add some of the iridescent glitter around her waist. So same technique, I'm taking my Mod Podge, my paintbrush, and I'm going to add just a little bit of glue around her waist, kind of cascading down a little bit. And then I'm going to take that iridescent glitter, sprinkle it over the top. You can kind of press it down a tiny bit with your fingers to make sure it sets in the glue, tap it off. And then I also decided to add some glitter right around the base of her dress, so at the bottom of the petals. So just a little bit to add a little bit of sparkle at the bottom of her dress, and it tied in the glitter around her waist as well. It's always fun to see the finishing touches and how much they add to a fairy doll, and I really think that this glitter kind of tied it all together. And last but not least, we are going to crown our fairy. And there you have it, guys. This is our June Flower Fairy of the Month. I have had so much fun doing this series. I would love to hear from you guys, and I would love to know what your favorite fairy has been so far in my Flower Fairy series. All of the links are below in the description of the video. I have to say, I love the blue, I love the green, and I love her red hair, and I just think she turned out really cute. If you'd like to see what videos I'm working on, please follow me on Instagram. You'll see little sneak peeks of things coming up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do. That would be so appreciated. And if you like this tutorial, give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it, and we'll see you next time.